Iran's about to explode. Here's what happens to oil prices when it does. Iran is in free fall. Their government just killed, they say, 5,000 people in a crackdown on protest. Their currency is worthless. Their economy is imploding, and Iran controls one of the most critical choke points in global oil supply. In the next few minutes, you'll understand why Iran's collapse could mean oil hitting $91 a barrel and fast. You'll see how Trump's tariff strategy is accelerating that collapse, and you'll also understand a geopolitical threat that most energy markets are still underpricing. I'm Mark Roach. I've worked in the Middle East. I've studied how political instability becomes energy crisis. This is FutureWise Energy, independent channel. Let me start with the brutal reality. Iran's producing about 3.2 million barrels of oil a day. That's down from a historical 4 million barrels a day plus. They're under international sanctions, and they can't sell most of their oil on the open market legally. So 90% of what they do sell goes to China at a huge discount. We're talking $20 per barrel cheaper than global prices because of what's called shadow logistics. The Iranian government gets roughly 10% of that export revenue. The rest goes to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC. That's the military wing that's basically running the country. So here's what's happening right now. The regime is desperate. 5,000 people dead in weeks of crackdowns. Protests are still happening. The National Development Fund, and that's Iran's sovereign wealth fund, is nearly depleted. The currency is in free fall. The young people are fleeing the country. Trump just announced 25% tariffs on any country trading with Iran. That means China, which takes 90% of Iranian oil, has to either stop buying Iranian oil or face massive tariffs on everything they export to the US. What does China do? They probably reduce purchases. Iran oil suddenly has even fewer buyers. Prices to Iran crash even lower. Export revenue drops. The regime gets even less money. So here's where the desperation play that keeps strategies up at, or this is the desperation play that keeps strategists up at night. Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz. It's a 21-mile passage that 20 million barrels of oil pass through every day. And that's roughly 20% of the global oil supply flowing through that one choke point. If Iran closes that strait, even temporarily, then oil prices do spike, and it could hit $80 to $90, even $100 a barrel in weeks. Bloomberg NEF models show that Hormuz closure could spike prices to $91 almost instantly. So why would Iran do that? Because they're desperate. Their government's about to collapse. They've got nothing to lose. They could close the strait as a last resort leverage play, like saying, we're taking you down with us. Energy warfare. Is it likely? No, it's not. But is it possible? Yes. And that's the risk that energy markets are slowly starting to price in. And here's the pattern. Iran gets more desperate. Protests get bigger. Crackdowns get more violent. Military options become more tempting. Close the strait, disrupt oil, create chaos. Maybe that negotiates a better outcome for us. They're saying to themselves, kind of a disruptor, let's create some chaos and then try to negotiate and get a better angle. Well, geopolitically, Trump's tariff strategy is accelerating this. By threatening tariffs on China for buying Iranian oil, Trump's cutting off Iran's revenue lifeline, and that makes Iran more desperate, not less. So what does that mean for the prices of oil? Well, over the next 3 to 6 months, oil probably trades in a band, maybe $58 to $65 per barrel, but the risk premium is building. Every protest in Iran, every government crackdown, every new tariff from Trump, that all adds to the risk that something breaks. And if it does, if Iran closes the Strait of Hormuz, even for a week, oil spikes to $80 or $90 per barrel almost immediately. So in a few weeks, your gas prices could jump 50 to 15 to 30 cents. Global shipping costs also spike. Markets get disrupted. And that's a scenario that could happen in 2026. It's not the base case. It's kind of the tail risk, they say. But it is real. It's a possibility. So here's what's actually happening. Iran's political system is fracturing. Their economy can't support the military or the government. They're out of money and they're out of options. Desperation is a dangerous state for a country that controls a critical choke point. Trump's tariff strategy, whether intentionally or not, is making that desperation worse, and it's cutting off Iran's oil sales. And that squeezes the regime harder. That makes military options more attractive in some people's eyes. That raises the probability of a straight closure scenario. For energy markets, this is the hidden risk nobody's fully pricing in right now. It's not immediate, it's not certain, but it's a scenario with real probability. Keep your eye on Iran. If you see more protests, more crackdowns, more currency collapse, that's a signal that we're moving closer to a crisis, because when Iran runs out of options, they might just run out of patience too. I'm Mark Roach, and this is FutureWise Energy.